I'm gonna show you how to use the new 97 rated iconic moment, Frank Lampard. Also, I challenged myself to get 5,000 subscribers before the year is over. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and help me out. You can always unsubscribe after. Now enjoy the video.
Frank Lampard, arguably one of the best midfielders in Premier League history. Yes, everybody knows players such as Paul Scholes, but at the end of the day, if you look at Frank Lampard's stats in real life, you guys would see that Frank Lampard has, I think, the most goals for any midfielder in the Premier League history. I think Paul Scholes was more of a playmaker, and that's why he's orchestrating the game, versus Lampard, who is a whole player. A whole player is a player who makes runs into spaces, but he had the passing attributes to also be a playmaker as well as to score goals. So Frank Lampard, as you can look at his stats right here, they're rightfully right. So we look into his details right here. He's 184 centimeters, so he's not that short, not that tall. He's about what, 6'1", 6'1.5" thereabout, you know. And his offensive awareness is 95. His ball control is 92. Looking at all of these stats, you're seeing green and blue. The one that I want you guys to pay attention the most is that his finishing is 97. This is with the club boost, of course, but either way, 95 finishing for a midfielder, that's pretty decent. Not even pretty decent, that's amazing. Keep in mind, this guy isn't an attacking midfielder, but he can play the role. He's not a defensive midfielder either, but he can play the role. He's a central midfielder. But the silly thing is, I would like to classify Frank Lampard as a utility player. When I say a utility player, I don't want anybody or any Chelsea player to get, angry about this. But when I say a utility player, I mean any role that you want Frank Lampard to play in the midfield, he can do it. He can do a job anywhere in the midfield. It's just that I wouldn't be as inclined to play him at attacking midfielder because he's not that fast. If you look at his stats, his speed is 80 and his acceleration is 84. That is with the club boost, so he's not really that fast, but he's one of those players that it's not really much about the speed. It's more about what he can do with the ball and off the ball as well, because his defensive stats are very good as well. If you look here, his physical contact is 87, his stamina is 97, so he's running up and down all of the game, so he's very good running back and he's very good going forward. He offers so much in attack and he offers so much in defense, so I find him to be a utility player. Because let's say, for instance, I'm going to be completely honest with you, if I have a midfield three, my midfield three more than likely is going to be Beckham, Vera and Paul Scholes. So Frank Lampard would always be that utility player that just fills in for whichever one he's having better condition than. So if he's having better condition than Beckham, then he's going to fit in for Beckham. If he's having better condition than Vera, then he's going to be the defensive midfielder. So that's why I said that he's more of a utility player. But when I realized I've actually played him a lot of matches, because you guys know I love to play a lot of matches, especially with midfielders, because PES seems to love to give me midfielders, and I'm grateful for that, of course, because I get to explore the different world of midfielders. But Frank Lampard, I have not found a fault with his card now, apart from the fact that he's very slow. And his jump is a bit weird, but he still has 86 heading on set pieces, so I find that to be very good because most midfielders don't really have that. Vera has 93, that's regular Vera has 93. Paul Scholes has, I think, 85. That's iconic moment Paul Scholes. So he's up there, he's in between the best and the worst. Well, not the worst, Paul Scholes is not the worst, but you guys know what I mean. As you guys can see here, his stats are just very, very good. His stats are just exceptional. I see a stat that says 78 balance. I really tested that out, to be completely honest, because I haven't seen anything whereas the balance has failed me in a match as yet. Because as I said, the problem that I really have is that as a whole player is that if I'm playing the 4-3-1-2, which is the J Canto formation that I did a review for a long time ago, you guys can see that he's actually, he will make runs past my attacking midfielder if he's playing central midfielder, which is probably a problem because let's say, for instance, my opponent starts to counter, Lampard is nowhere to be found. If it's a quick counter, he's nowhere to be found. If it's a slow counter, then he'll run back in time because, as I said, 97 stamina. He's not the fastest player in the world, but he will come back to defend because even though he runs into spaces, if we're not attacking, he's going to be running back to defend into the defensive space. His skills and traits now, I must say that even though there are just a few here, I think that there are actually more hidden ones that maybe he doesn't have, or maybe he still he still shows regardless of the fact that he doesn't have it. I really wish that he had double touch, but he doesn't have double touch. The one that he has, I don't even know the name of it per se, but every single time I try to do a skill with him, it's just a regular one. It's like, I don't even see it here actually, but every single time I do a skill with him that will usually activate person to have double touch, he is like he stops, he brings the ball back and he goes forward. So I don't see it in the lineup here. I see long range shooting, knuckle shot, one touch pass, through passing, weighted pass, outside curler, low lofted pass, penalty specialist, and fighting spirit. So I don't see that skill here, but he uses it. So that's why I was saying that he has certain traits that maybe he won't be listed here, but he does have them. As you can see here, it says his playing style is long range, and I have scored a couple long range belters with him, and I must say that it was expected, to be completely honest, but just the way how the ball goes past the keeper. But you guys need to realize is that you see, once you get space, once you get any sort of space and you can run into the space with Lampard, just go and take the shot. I think it's very important for you guys to learn how to take a long range shot, because he's very good at those. As I said, he has a knuckle shot, so you can use it as well, and he has all the passing attributes to be a playmaker in the game as well. It's just that he will offer a lot into attack, so most persons would actually want him more in a more forward position, even though he can do the defensive work, but you want him in more of a forward, because he does have better finishing than Scholes, he does have better finishing than most midfielders in the game. So I mean, if Lampard gets a shot off, more than likely he's going to score or go for a corner. And you see, the thing is, another reason why I said that he's a utility player is because I can use him on my corners, whether to take the corners or to be the ones to receive the corners. He can take free kicks, he can take penalties, he can take like almost every single thing in the game. So I mean, when I say there's a player that can do it all, this is what I mean. So that's why I said he's a utility player in my eyes. So I use him there. And as you guys can see here with the formation, I can put Lampard anywhere in this formation and it's going to work out. I can put him as a defensive midfielder, I can put him as an attacking midfielder, I can put him as, you know, I can put him all over the pitch, and he's going to do the work that he's supposed to be doing. And I just have no faults with Lampard. Honestly, there's nothing else that I need to say about this card. Once you get him, once you use him, it's going to just be magic for you guys. And as I said, his finishing is really good. So once you learn how to use him and once you learn how to take the shots with him, then you're very good. Because okay, let's say for instance, he's the type of player to score that you get a corner, the opponent head it out, Lampard gets to the top of the box and you take that one-time shot. He's the type of player to score a rocket from there. He's the type of player that if you give him too much space, he will run through your defense and go score. He's the type of player that if you have Van Basten or Romanique or Torres or Owen and they're drawing all the attention from your defense, he's the type of player to make the run the opposite side, and all you do is just locate him and bam, either over the head, a little chip over to him, a little simple through ball to him, even a regular pass to him, and Lampard will find space. And even he's the type of player, he plays that Bruno Fernandes or Donny van de Beek, to be completely honest. So let's say for instance you take a shot from outside of the box with a regular player and it deflects, he's the type of player to be at the back post ready to collect that and score a tap in. That's the type of player that you want in your side. It's just that it works two ways. So it's like, it's either him score or he runs out of position and your opponent can counter you. So it's just your opponent to know when to counter and what side to counter from. So I hope that this video is helpful for you guys. I hope that I explained this card properly for you guys. Sharc Gaming, and I'm out.